Learning English doesn't always need a textbook. You can level up just by listening to stories like this. You'll enjoy the ride and absorb real, natural English at the same time. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let's get into this unexpected Heathrow adventure. She didn't know airports could be this confusing. She had landed at Heathrow after a 9-hour flight. Her eyes were dry, her brain a foggy mix of jet lag and too much airplane coffee. All she wanted was to sit somewhere quiet, grab a snack, maybe scroll through her phone until it was time to board again. The terminal signs looked helpful at first. Big arrows, clear gates. But somehow, one wrong turn led her into the maze. The international terminal felt endless. Stores, lights, people with different accents moving in every direction. She passed a bookstore, a perfume shop, a long hallway with nothing but gray carpet and low ceilings. She followed a small group of travelers. Maybe they knew where they were going. They turned left. She followed. They scanned something at a gate. She followed. No one stopped her. The carpet changed. It was soft. Softer than the rest of the airport. The air smelled different, cleaner, quieter. There were fresh flowers on a table. Not fake ones. Real. She slowed her steps. To her left, leather chairs, spaced out like a modern living room. A long glass wall revealed planes outside, close enough to count the windows. To her right, a coffee station. Not a vending machine. An actual espresso machine, with silver handles and small cups stacked like in a European cafe. Still, no one asked her anything. A man in a suit walked past her, typing on his phone. A woman in heels sipped wine from a glass that caught the light. That's when it hit her. This wasn't a regular waiting area. This was the VIP lounge. She stopped walking. A sudden warmth climbed up her neck, half embarrassment, half disbelief. She looked down at herself. Sneakers, hoodie, a wrinkled boarding pass sticking out of her bag. She definitely didn't belong here. She turned to leave, but something made her hesitate. Nobody had stopped her. Nobody even looked twice. She glanced at the snack counter. Tiny sandwiches, fresh fruit, drinks in glass bottles with no logos. Everything looked free. She was hungry. Just 5 minutes, she thought. Then I'll go. She sat on the edge of a long leather couch, careful not to lean back too much. She opened her bag, pulled out her phone, and pretended to scroll. Her heart was beating a little faster than usual. Across from her, a man nodded politely. She nodded back. She stood up casually and walked to the snack bar. She grabbed a small plate. A sandwich, a piece of cheese, a mini croissant. She poured herself a sparkling water, trying to act like this was all normal. Like she did this every day. Back at her seat, she took a bite. It was the best airport sandwich she'd ever had. Not that airport sandwiches had a high bar, but still. The bread was soft. The cheese sharp. She took a second bite, slower this time. A man nearby was talking quietly into a headset. Another person was reading a newspaper in German. She started to relax. Nobody was checking tickets. Nobody was asking questions. She stayed. Not long, maybe 30 minutes. Just enough time to eat, stretch, breathe. But then, just as she finished her last sip of water, someone in a black uniform walked by. A staff member. Their eyes briefly met. The staffer smiled politely and said, "May I see your lounge pass, please?" Her stomach dropped. She didn't have one. She looked down at her plate, then at her bag, then back at the staffer. She opened her mouth, but no words came. The staffer tilted their head, still smiling, but now curious. She stood up slowly and said, "Oh, I must have taken a wrong turn. Sorry." The staffer's smile didn't fade. It happens. No anger. No drama. Just a small gesture toward the exit. She thanked them quietly and walked out, feeling the warmth return to her cheeks. Back in the main terminal, everything looked louder, brighter, less peaceful. She sat near a boarding gate, looked at the people around her, and laughed softly to herself. It was a mistake, a harmless one, but for a few minutes, she had felt like she belonged in a different world. One with glass water bottles and real flowers. And maybe, just maybe, she'd do it again someday, on purpose, with a real pass next time. Did that story pull you in? While you were busy enjoying the surprise, your brain was soaking up real-life vocabulary and sentence structure. That's the magic of storytelling. If you've ever ended up somewhere you didn't belong, tell us in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. New stories drop every day.